Hey folks, how's it going? I decided to make this video for people who buy the HTC Vive because I figured maybe they need to know a little bit of details. Not about the device, but at least about HTC's customer service. I recently bought the HTC Vive exactly a week ago, and about 3 days after I bought it, I experienced a difficulty with the device. Everything works perfectly except one of the thumb pads on here developed an issue. Okay, so when you click on it, it's supposed to go click, 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 and it's supposed to do that in all four directions. So with one of these here, I can go click up and click left and right and down, no problem, okay? But with one of them, it seems like perhaps the rubber slip inside became dislodged or something, I don't know. So up and left and right no longer click like they should, which means I can't select options in specific HTC Vive games. Okay, so seeing as I just bought this so recently, I kept the box and all that stuff, and of course everything I kept for it, I just stuck it in another room. And I figured, okay, well, you know, this is a bit of a problem. I should be able to just call up HTC and let them know the issue, and they'd give me some instructions about how to send it back to them. Not exactly. The first thing they asked me to do was to take pictures of everything, every device and all the serial numbers and all that stuff, and the box and the receipt and blah, 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 and send all this back to, or send this in an email to HTC customer support, customer service. Okay, no problem, did that. Felt it was a little bit strange to have to do so much, but whatever. Then a day or two after that, they asked me to do something very strange. They've now asked me to install software onto my computer, which the technicians of HTC use to identify the serial number of the controller in question, the one that's not working. I'm supposed to use that software to identify the serial number for this. Okay. That's a little bit weird. First of all, it takes them quite a bit of time to get back to me with each new step. Secondly, if this were proper customer service, they would have asked me for perhaps a copy of the receipt for buying this thing and confirmation of my email or whatever, and then told me instructions on how to send this back to them so that I could either A, get it fixed, or B, get a replacement. That would be normal, right? But what they've asked me to do, like I said, was to install that software and go through all this hula in order to get it, I don't know, to do what? I'm not sure. But my ultimate question is, why would they even ask me to install that software? A, it's not consumer software. This is not something that us users are supposed to use. This is something that they're supposed to use. And B, if I were to do that and to get the serial number, I'm pretty certain after getting such an odd step to do that they would give me another step to do after that. Take into account that this has brought a problem that began 3 days after I bought the Vive and is now 4 days later still being not even handled, just asking for weird steps. But if I were to send it back to them or you know, give them the serial number and go through all this weird stuff of installing a software, they're just going to receive the remote eventually, and then they themselves are going to use the software that they already have installed to identify the serial number, and then, you know, do that in their factory. So the question is, why would they ask the customer to do something that their technicians should be able to do themselves? So I figured I'd make this YouTube video to let you guys know that if you get a Vive, I mean, it's really well made, and I don't see this problem for other people. So maybe I just got really lucky with a wonderful controller. But if you do have an issue with your Vive, you got to know that you are getting into a bit of a debacle. A bit of a problem with HTC because they don't appear to have their shit together when it comes to dealing with customer service. This is a lot of trouble, and this is more days of having a problem with the device than I have with a working device. That should be a priority of HTC to make sure that users are enjoying it, but apparently it's not. Apparently they'd rather just make their customers jump through hoops. So now you know, if your HTC Vive has a problem, you're going to have to jump through hoops, you're going to have to do weird steps. My next strategy tomorrow when I call them is to say, to get angry, you know, and ask them why their customer service is so inept and why it's so strange, these steps, and asking me to do weird things. I'm going to put my foot down and let them know, give me the instructions on sending it back. I mean, this is ridiculous. But anyway, there you go. There's your warning. You get a Vive. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, then be prepared for some frustration. Caticus out.